Hi everyone, my name is Alex Surro, and welcome to the Validating Podcast, a radio show that strives to make any listener smile. Each episode will feature a new guest who will share what makes them unique. Filled with fun games, exciting questions, and inspiring stories, this podcast is aimed towards encouraging anyone to be happy and confident with who they are. As always, comments are encouraged and positivity will always be appreciated. For now, let's sit back, relax, and get on with this week's episode. I hope you all enjoy the Validating Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 5th episode of the 2nd season of the Validating Podcast. I'm Alex Surro, as always, your host for today's episode. I am super excited for today, as always. I have a very special guest for you all. She's one of the most positive people I know, and I'm very excited to have her on because it's been so long since I've actually caught up with her and seen her in person. So being able to chat with her today brings me so much joy. She's always thinking of new ways to spread joy to other people, which I love, is that she knows what it means to be positive, and then she teaches other people how to do the same just by being her fantastic self. She's hardworking more than most. She knows what it means to work hard and get the work done in the best way possible. She never quits. She always puts forth good content. And we're going to talk all about that. So before I blab too much, she is Carly.
Hi, everyone. Alex, you made me smile. I'm so excited for this. Thank you for having me. I feel amazing now after your beautiful speech.
Thank you. I try. I read it in a script too. So then if I miss anything, I'm like, no, but we're good. So I'm glad to see you. Like I said, I'm glad that you're here. And I'm excited to get started. So why don't you introduce yourself for someone that doesn't know who you are, just a rundown of who you are.
All right. Well, for everyone who doesn't know me already, my name is Carly Eiton. I am 21 years old and I'll be 22 in a couple weeks. Super exciting, I guess. But I'm from a small town outside of Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm currently a senior at Framingham State University. I'm currently studying fashion merchandising with a minor in marketing. On campus, I'm a part of my university's dance team, and I'm actually on the e-board for that. I am the publicist of the team, so I run the social media pages, do a lot of advertising on campus and online, trying to recruit people to join the team and stuff along those types of lines. Mm-hmm. I've been dancing ever since I was 3, so dancing is a huge part of my life as well, and that's something I want to continue doing in college. And I guess the one final thing about myself is that I do have a YouTube channel that I started recently, and I've been really enjoying making videos for that and just taking videos of my life, my final semester at college.
Awesome. That was an amazing introduction. I feel like you practiced before logging on today.
Thank you.
Very well done. And yes, if you're listening and you want to see more of Carly, I'm going to put all of her links down in the description so you can subscribe to her channel, see what she's talking about, kind of vlog type style videos. And she recently went to New York City, which was fun to watch. I watched that. So
yes,
very fun vlogs. And I also learned, I think your birthday, you said, is coming up. It's the 29th of February, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Right. You're a leap year baby, so that means you are only 5 technically, but of course you celebrate on the 28th, so you're a lot older. That's so exciting. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'll be oh my gosh, can I do the math? I'll be 5.5 this year.
There you go.
Exciting.
Amazing. That's so funny. I think you're the only person I know with that kind of situation, so it's very unique. Awesome.
Thank you. It's my go-to icebreaker.
There you go. You always need one of those.
Yeah.
That's funny. And I want to ask Carly, how are you doing? And I want you to be as honest as possible.
Yeah. I would have to say overall, I've been doing pretty good. I feel like compared to other semesters here, I don't have as much work and stress. So my work and stress level hasn't been too bad. I've been enjoying myself on campus, enjoying my company with my friends, and just trying to make the best out of my final semester here. So I'd say I'm overall doing pretty good.
Awesome. That's good to hear. And does it bring any stress to you that it is your final semester of FSU, or are you ready to close the book?
Yeah, I do have some nervous stress for sure. While I am super duper excited for my next chapter, I am also extremely nervous. I do have a full-time job lined up already, so that's a huge stress off my shoulders for sure. But just officially going into adulthood and branching into that more, it's scary, but I'm super excited for it too.
And I felt the same exact way a year ago today. Like, I feel like because I'm a year older, I went through that kind of process of like, it's so strange. Like, FSU has been such a monument of our lives. I feel like the last 4 years, just like it's who we are at this point, and we can't think of anything different. But it does end at some point, and I'm glad that you have that next step kind of planned out, and then you can kind of leap into it. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm
And
really
nerve wracking all in one. And I like to play like a little game out of it, like 1 through 10. Where would you say your stress level is? And 1 would be like no stress at all, but then 10 is completely stressed. So where do you lie on that scale?
Yeah, I would probably have to say, I mean, like, I feel like my schoolwork is picking up a little bit, nothing too crazy. So there's like a bit of stress there. I'd probably have to say maybe like about halfway, like a 5 out of 10, probably.
That's not bad. That's, I think, normal. Like, you don't want to be too stressed out. You don't want to be not stressed at all because then you have no motivation.
Yeah, so I feel like that's like a happy medium. It's fair.
Good. I'm glad. And you mentioned dance team too, and I have always loved like performing arts clubs and stuff. I was obviously part of the theater programs too. So like having that outlet to like release your energy physically, mentally, whatever. So it's like not work, it's not stress, it's just you get to do it. Exactly. So I think that's really exciting too.
Yeah.
Oh, also, what makes you you? I love asking this to my guests. What makes you unique? You kind of touched upon it, but what kind of differentiates you from the crowd?
Yeah, I feel like a lot goes into that question. I feel like everyone goes through like their own like different life experiences that like make them into like the person that they are. So I feel like a lot goes into it, and of course it's like totally different for everyone. So I feel like with what makes me me, it's funny that you kind of asked that, because my college essay was kind of like talking about like what makes me me and kind of like defining who I am. But like, even though like there's like these definitions of like words that we use, like things go like beyond just those definitions, and things can be interpreted in different ways in a sense. So that's just like a kind of funny connection. I feel like growing up, like, of course, like I grew up with like my family, my parents, my 3 sisters, and my dog. My 3 sisters and I are all like extremely close in age. So we've been through a lot together, and of course, like gotten super duper close and everything. I feel like another thing that makes me me as well. I don't know if this is like kind of on a sadder note, but when I was 11, I was diagnosed with moderate to severe Crohn's disease. So kind of like growing up with that over the past decade, it's become a huge part of my life and kind of like shaped me into the individual that I am as well. And it's like a huge part of my identity for sure. And I feel like also with like the pandemic as well, everyone like dealt with the pandemic in their own ways. And I felt like the pandemic taught me so much about like my health, my mental health, myself, and my own needs. So yeah.
Awesome. No, well said. And I think you're right. Every single person that I talk to will have a different way of expressing who they are, what makes them different. And that's why I ask it. I like to make them kind of reflect on themselves almost, like their whole lives, like how did they identify and how do they kind of make themselves different. So that's awesome. And the last thing I have for like the questions is, what does validating mean to you? And do you have any examples?
Yeah, I feel like it's funny because like I've used the word validating and like the different like forms of the word validate before, but like it never really occurred to me like, oh, what does like validating like truly mean? So me being me, I of course Googled it as like to see the definition of it, because like when it came to mind, like I honestly, my mind went blank. But based off of like what I saw, what is like the Google definition that like stood out to me the most was to recognize or affirm the validity or like the worth of someone or something or their opinions, and to make someone feel like valued in their own way. So I feel like to me, validating, and the word valid, of course, has a lot of different meanings, but I feel like it's about being authentic and staying true to yourself. Like through your podcast, you speak with people, you get to know them, hear their truths, and of course their authentic selves, of course. So I feel like that's kind of the definition of validating.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm glad you Googled it, because I do the same thing when I don't know something. I'm like, go to Google. And I'm teaching students too. It's always awkward when they're like, oh, how do you say this word in Spanish? I'm like, I don't know, but Google has the answer. Like, exactly. We usually try to get them to figure it out, but all it comes to worst, just search it on the internet and then there's the answer usually. So but it's of course the issue of like you can't rely on the internet because there's the stuff like news and stuff that's not always reliable. So then
Oh yeah, very true.
Double-edged sword for sure. But when it comes to validation, hopefully that's pretty consistent across the board. So very well said.
Thank you.
Awesome. So let's jump into our games. I'm very excited about our games. I hope you are too.
I'm excited too.
Good. The first game that I thought of for you was the increasingly intriguing interview. So the way this game works, I played it in my very first episode with Lexi. Do you know Lexi by any chance, Carly?
Oh yeah, I used to be an SDA with her in Towers.
There you go. Yeah. So I love the connections too. That's one of my favorite parts of this is I meet people in different ways, but then through FSU, we kind of all know each other in a way. So that's fun. So I played it with her, and then I also played it with Nada, who went to FSU, but she was an upperclassman, so you probably didn't know her. But the way I played it with her was I had 10 questions, and I would give 10 seconds for the first question, 20 seconds for the second question, and so on. So as we ramp up, the time limit will increase, but I also tried to make the questions a little bit more deep and philosophical, hopefully, so you have more time to dive into it a little bit more.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
And I'll keep the time, so just kind of do your answer, and if I have to cut you off, I will.
Okay.
It's not to be rude, it's just the game. So
yeah, got it.
Okay, so the first question I had was, what is something or someone you can't live without?
Someone I definitely can't live without is my mom. She's like my role model. I love her. She has been through so much in life, and I look to her for everything and for advice as well.
Perfect. Awesome. I was gonna say, if you were like still mid-sentence, I was gonna let you go because that was very thoughtful and sweet. So
thank you.
Number 2, what encouraged you to start your YouTube channel and start creating videos?
Yeah, I feel like there's so much that like goes into that. I talk about a lot more in my video. I feel like one part of it, like I kind of already said, was to kind of have like a way to like look back at old memories and just to see how much I've grown, like from my last semester of college to like post-grad and hopefully into my adult years. Yeah, I'd probably say that's the main reason.
Awesome. Good. I'm glad you didn't go into more because it was nearing 20 seconds. So
yeah.
Good. You're good at this. Okay.
Thank you.
Number 3, what does a day in the life of Carly look like?
Ooh, I guess like kind of as of right now, for like a typical like school day, I guess for me, I wake up, I get ready for the day, get breakfast, I go to my internship for normally about like 4 hours. I come back and I either have like a snack or a late lunch, get some work done, and then get dinner, go to dance if I have dance, or if not, just like hang out in my room, and then go to bed.
Nice. Viewers, I promised Carly did not know these questions ahead of time. She's just killing it. So
Thank you.
I'm surprised. I feel like when I get timed like this, I'm always rambling and then I go on too long. So you're doing awesome. You keep it concise to the point. But of course, I have so many follow-up questions of like, what does your internship look like? And what does dance team look like? But we won't get into that right now, I think. But I'll put a pin in that. So
absolutely.
Number 4, how would you describe the 4 years of FSU in a nutshell?
Oh gosh, I feel like so much goes into this. I feel like my freshman year was like adjusting to college life and like learning like what I can do in college, like in terms of like getting to know people, seeing what my interests are, like with dance and everything, for example, just like getting to know as many people as possible. Sophomore year was kind of all over the place. Like it was a lot of stress with like classes and stuff, but it was a lot of fun and I made a lot of memories. But then COVID hit my second semester. So then my whole junior year, I was home, which was, it had its pros and cons, I'm sure for everyone. So that was something, but we still had dance. So I was able to come on campus. Trying to think what else in this time crunch. I got into a relationship my junior year, which was nice. And then junior year ended, and now I'm in my senior year right now.
I guess we can't hear about it. That's it.
Okay.
That's so funny. You're doing well, and then you kind of talked about COVID, and then took a turn, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Good. Do you have a favorite food? Like if you're craving something, do you have like an all-time favorite food or a favorite restaurant that you go to?
Okay, so I feel like a lot can go into this. I have like a lot of foods I love. I'm a big foodie. I love food. I would have to say it's like a food that I like can always go to like snack on. I'm gluten-free, so gluten-free double stuffed Oreos, not the single stuffed, the double stuffed, because the portion is so much better. I've loved Oreos my whole life, but even before going gluten-free. So when they came out with the gluten-free ones, I was like, That's a must. And I've bought like so many like packets of like the gluten-free double stuffed Oreos. I eat them almost all the time. So as like a snack, I'd say that's like one of my favorites. And for restaurants, I would have to say like one of the best restaurants that has really good gluten-free food and like options and service is it's like a local thing around here. It's 110 Grill. They have really good food. Their chicken piccata is amazing, as well as like their bread and their appetizers. So that's like my go-to restaurant for now.
Yep, and that's it. Good. That was 50 seconds right on the nose.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've been to 110 Grill like once, and I remember liking it. So that's good. Oh, number 6. What are some of your life goals?
Oh my goodness. This is a loaded question. Ooh, okay. I would have to say my overall goal is just like to try and be as happy as possible and to like find my own happiness and do what makes me happy. I feel like that's super duper important. I know like living in like capitalist society and everything, like we're prone to like working all the time. We're focused on like, oh, like getting rich or like trying to like build up power and like where we work or like stuff like that. But like even though like some people do look for that, like it's still important to like have and find like your own happiness for sure. So that's something I do want to try to do throughout my life and my career and everything like that. I feel like another life goal of mine is to eventually move to New York City. Like I kind of had it like in my blog recently. It's been a dream of mine for a long time now. It's one of the fashion capitals of the world. So just having the opportunity to like live there, work there, and just like experience New York City is another huge goal. I feel like typical like getting married and like having a family one day, that of course is not priority right now, but like
that's it. You're done.
Yeah. I feel like that's probably everything.
Yeah, good. If you go more, then you're going to be thinking of goals that are like important but not as important, like you were saying. So
yeah.
That's good. 1 minute's perfect for that question. I thought of a follow-up question. I won't time you for this one, but okay. I love that you said you want to be happy. I feel the same way. Like that is definitely like whatever you end up doing, you just want to be happy with where you are. That's amazing. How did you always want to go into fashion? Was that always an interest? Was that always something that you knew was going to be in your horizons, or was it kind of recent that you figured it out?
Yeah, it's something that I kind of like grew up like loving. I love clothes. I loved like picking out my outfits each day. I did like have other possible career paths. Like at one point, like I wanted to like go into and like become a vet and go like vet school. But I'm not the best with like needles and things like that. So that probably wasn't the best route for me. I had like other things like as a child, like I wanted to be like an artist or like an actress or a singer. Not good at any of that stuff, but just like stuff like that. I feel like it really started to grow more. My interest in fashion was like high school for sure. I know like my mom, like she almost went to school for fashion when she was like around my age. And she like always told me like, oh, Framingham State has a great fashion program, Carly. You can definitely look into there if you like want to pursue fashion and things like that. So yeah.
Good. I'm always curious about that kind of thing because I feel like I always knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. I always wanted to be a teacher in some capacity. And it sounds like you had a similar experience. Like, yes, you had those little like veterinarian dreams and stuff like that. But when you actually sat down and thought about it, you had an option. Like you were ready to go. You were motivated. And that's really good. But I always wonder like what kind of advice people need to hear when they're deciding on what they want to do. And it's like scary. It's a daunting task for sure. Yeah. I don't know if you have any advice for those people, but like I always wonder.
Yeah, I feel like, of course, it's different for everyone. I know like there's people who like may have like no idea like what they want to do with their life or like anything like that. So I feel like it's just important to like follow your heart and like do like what you truly love. If you find something that you're interested in, like don't be afraid to like pursue it and look into it more and like dip your toes into it more, because chances are you're probably able to make it somehow into like a full-time career. So I'd say just like go with your heart and like your passions and your interests.
Yeah. That's good. Okay, so one more question on this topic.
Yeah.
What you say, follow your heart, go with your passion, but isn't dance one of your passions? Why didn't you want to be a professional dancer?
That is a great question. I do love dancing, and I hope to somehow continue like pursuing like dancing post college. I grew up at a studio. I feel like there's different types of like dance like studios and like dance like education, I guess, in a sense, growing up. Like the studio I grew up going to was like very like technique based and like I don't know if classical is the right word, but like I've never ever like been in like a dance competition. I've never competed. It was a lot of like learning like the technique and like the basic type of stuff. And of course, like we learned choreography and we performed like in showcases and things like that. But it was a matter of like getting like the nitty-gritty details, like with ballet, like all those types of details, like learning all like the tap moves and like jazz, like personality, energy, things like that. So as much as I love dancing and I love dancing like with FSU dance team and everything, I just don't see myself doing it as a full-time career. I feel like not to put myself on kind of a negative note, I feel like there's definitely like much better dancers out there, like the Maddie Ziegler dance moms level, like those types of dancers.
Right.
Like I feel like I'm very good at picking up choreography and I do consider myself a great dancer, but I wouldn't want to consider it as a full-time career. And it's I feel like I'm not like while I am strong, I'm not like elite, I guess.
Fair. Okay. That makes sense. I get that.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good because you're realistic about it. Like, you know that there's other people out there that can probably do it much better for longer periods of time too. Because dancers, I have high praise for dancers because they have so much stamina and like they can do shows over many times a week and like they're 2 hours long usually. And they're like you said, you can't just kind of do the dance and get off. You have to be a performer. You have to like show like your best self all the time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Okay. Moving on. I feel like I took a tangent, but that's okay.
That's okay.
So I think that I might not answer this, but who inspires you to be your best and explain why?
I feel like, again, so much can go into this. Probably I'd have to say like my mom again, for sure. I mean, like I said, she's a huge part of my life. She's like grown up and she's like been through like so much. She's done so many things. She's lived in a lot of cities. Like I kind of mentioned, she originally was going to go to school for fashion, but then she ended up dropping college because it just wasn't for her. And she ended up like moving and living in a bunch of cities. She lived in like New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles. I don't know if there are any others. She like worked like as a legal secretary and then she took a full 180 and like become a model for a little bit of time. And then she got back into legal secretary again. And then she ended up getting married and having 4 kids and like just like hearing like all of her life stories and everything, like her growing up and like just like, of course, like while growing up, like just like witnessing everything I've had from like childhood to now, it seemed like what she's been through, of course, she's like a huge part of my life and helped me shape me into who I am today. So I truly love my mom and she's like my idol to me. So yeah.
Awesome. If your mom's not watching this, make sure she does watch it when it gets posted so she can hear all the nice things you're saying.
Oh, I will. This is like her birthday's today. So this is like, I guess, part of her birthday present.
There you go.
Talk about how much I love my mom. So
yeah. That's cute. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Number 8. Ooh, okay, this is kind of fun and you might not want to, but try to find something in your room, like physically, that you can show the camera that brings you a lot of joy, starting now.
I'm in my bed, like in a position.
I know, that's why I was like, I don't know if you want to do it.
Joy out. Something that brings me joy? Oh, yeah. Gosh. Okay, let me think.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Lord. I guess this can be one thing.
Okay.
I may grab a couple things.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, we'll do that. I feel like this too. Okay, I have 3 things.
Okay, the time is ticking, so you only have
okay. I'm just jumping back in. Okay, the first thing I would have to say is my Polaroid camera.
Yeah, that's yep.
Just like for memories and things like that. I have a Polaroid wall in my dorm, so like again, looking back at that. So something else that brings me joy. My friend Alex went to Rhode Island and went to a gluten-free bakery yesterday, and she like got me a couple things. Said this is some gluten-free chocolate chip banana bread. Amazing. So gluten-free sweets, of course, bring me joy as well. And then last but not least, I have this boot here to kind of like portray like my joy and love for fashion and just like style and things like that. And also, they're kind of like 60s inspired, and the 60s is my favorite decade for fashion. So it's something else that brings me joy and brings me inspiration.
There you go.
Whew, I'm tired.
You're out of breath now.
Oh my goodness, I'm out of shape, Alex.
That's funny. But you dance so much. How are you out of shape?
I don't know. I ask myself that question every day.
Amazing. But you did it. So thank you for going on that scavenger hunt. I appreciate that. Yeah. All right. I'm going to kind of shift gears a little bit. But is there anything that like, I don't want to say makes you upset, but it kind of like dampens your mood a little bit, and then flip that, and how do you kind of overcome it? So it's like a two-part question.
Yeah, I feel like, again, like a lot can go into this. There's like so many different things. I would have to say, like, one example is like just like in terms of like being in a bad mood, like I know like sometimes like stress, negativity, like the kind of like that combination of those three. Like I feel like sometimes with other people's like energy and emotions, like with people that I'm hanging out with, for example, sometimes I have like that weird like instinct where it kind of like reflects onto me in a sense. Like let's say for instance, like you and I were hanging out and like you were in like a bad mood or like upset, that would like affect me and then I'd start to feel the same way. And of course that wouldn't really be fun for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to say to like turn that around and try to make it like a positive thing. Just like trying to like uplift everyone's mood, like whether that be like telling a joke, making someone laugh, or just like giving them some motivation, some kindness, because I feel like kindness also goes like a long way as well. So yeah.
Awesome. Good answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, I always say kindness is a very good cure for any situation. And it's hard sometimes when your friends are in that mood of like nothing can cheer them up. Like, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but like they have those moods where they're just like, today's the worst day, nothing's going to cheer me up. I'm just going to be sad. And I think that's where validation comes in, is that our instinct usually as humans is to switch it and be like, oh, but what about this? Or this is good. Like you can ignore the sad because this is fine. But validation makes it so you relate to them in a sense where you're not going to just ignore their sad feelings. If they're feeling sad, then it's kind of better to acknowledge that and say like, I get why you're sad and I agree that today's not the best, kind of thing. At least acknowledging their feelings so they don't feel like they're not heard, because that's not great if you're just kind of ignoring how they're feeling. You kind of,
Yeah.
it's best to support them, and if they're feeling sad, then be sad with them, watch a sad movie, like kind of embrace it for a little bit, and then switch the table, then say like, okay, you can't be sad forever, today might not be good, but there's tomorrow to look forward to, kind of thing. So That's what I've learned over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, and then the last question for this little game is, do you have any fun dance stories that like either behind the scenes or on stage, like just something that makes you laugh when you think of a dance story, if you have?
I feel like there's like so many different things. Is it only like dance team related or just like
No, any dance, because you said you've been dancing since 3, right? So
yeah, I feel like, oh goodness, like I mean, I've never had any incidents where like I like fell on stage or had anything like that. I mean, this is also kind of on a sad note, but one thing that kind of stands out to me is my senior year of high school. I was dancing. I like came like from like rehearsal because I did theater in high school, like straight to my dance class, and it was a point class, so like it's like those like hard wooden ballet shoes and like you're on your toes and everything. And in the middle of the class, I dislocated my knee, and that was my first time like I ever like had like an injury like since I was like an infant, because of course I wouldn't remember that. So like my sister was in the class and like I was like in shock and everything, and like she was freaking out, and like of course I had to go to the ER and deal with that. Because I was in theater, I guess like we'll just focus on this story, I guess. For like that show that year, I was like the dance lead, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what if I like can't do the show? What if I don't recover in time? Blah blah blah. Because I've never had an injury like this before. But like I like religiously went to PT, was like very careful about my leg. At rehearsals, I did my best to learn choreography while not like pushing myself, wearing my knee brace and things like that. I was able to perform in my show as a dance lead, which was like a huge success story. Super duper grateful. I like remained dedicated and persistent and tried to push through as much as possible while also being cautious and being careful. So that's like kind of one dance story, even though it kind of ties into theater. I feel like in terms of like dance team, like I know every year for each of our shows, we do like Sweet Caroline at the end of the show. And I feel like last semester was like the funniest memory of it, because like a lot of people like weren't there pre-COVID, so like they weren't familiar with it. So I was kind of like the person who like hyped everyone up, and I like barely knew the lyrics, but I was like screaming what I knew to like try and get the other dancers to, like hype up. And I made like a lot of people laugh and like made like the last like dance song enjoyable. So that's like a funny thing too.
Awesome. Amazing. You did go over time, but I wasn't going to interrupt that. That's so sweet. That's awesome. I asked about a funny story, and then they're like, oh, I broke my leg.
Yeah. Well, not really funny, but it turned into like a good story in the end.
Yes, it did. I loved it. That's so fun. Okay. So thank you for playing that little interview game. Oh, I'm excited about this one. This one is called Piano Pieces. played this with my friend Laura in episode 5. She was from my high school, and we actually played piano together for like lessons and stuff. So I was like, well, this is perfect. But you don't play piano, right?
I played when I was little, but it's been years. So
okay. I didn't know that. So I think that I count as a win. Like, that's pretty cool. I just thought that I know that you like music. So I was like, I'm going to tie it in somehow. So I have a couple of songs prepared. You don't know what they are. And I have it cut up into sections. So it's just 1 second sections at first. If you don't know it, then I can do 3 seconds. If you don't know that, then 5 seconds and so on. So I tried to make them songs that you hopefully know. They've been like popular within the years. So if you don't know the song at all of them, that's my bad. But I want to see what you can do. So we're going to try this out. Okay, first song. You ready, Carly?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, this is only 1 second, but here we go. Do you know the song?
Is it Viva La Vida?
It is Viva La Vida. It's shocking that you knew that. Amazing. Thanks, Carly. Okay, we're moving on. Good job. So now round 2, new song. 1 second.
Okay.
Go. That's all you get.
Like trying to like play a song in my head to see if I know it.
Mm-hmm.
I may need to hear a couple more seconds.
That's totally understandable. I get that. All right, we're gonna try. I think this is 3 seconds long. I made it like different sections. Okay.
Oh my God, it's Roots.
Yep, you got it.
I was in a dance that my freshman year too.
Mm-hmm. You might see a trend, just so you know.
Oh, okay. I'm excited now.
All right, it's a new song, so it's gonna be a second. Get ready.
Mm-hmm.
Any idea?
I'm gonna have to hear a little more.
Yeah, I figured.
I'm trying to think. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna have to hear a little more.
That's fine. I thought you would. Okay.
Oh, it's Tell Me You Love Me.
You got it. That's so fun.
Oh my gosh, I thought it was Easy by Adele for a second. Like that.
Yeah. I do like that song though. That's a good
It is a good song. I love Adele.
All right, new song. Any idea?
It sounds like one of Adele's new songs from her album, but I don't think it's it. I thought it was Cry Your Heart Out from her new album.
Nope. I'll play more seconds.
Okay. I'll have to hear a little more of that one.
Watching your brain like piece the things together is so fun. You're just like, I know it, but it's no. Okay.
I'm trying to think of the musicality and the rhythm, but
yep. All right, here we go.
Oh, it's Disturbia.
Yes, it is. Good job. All right, I got one more.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh my God, that rings a bell, but I'm gonna have to hear a little more of that one.
Sounds good.
Oh, it's Rain on Me.
It is Rain on Me.
Oh, great song.
Good job. So yeah, what was the trend, Carly? What was commonality of all those songs?
Yeah, those were all songs that were like performed at dance team showcases. I was in a couple of those songs. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that a lot.
I'm glad. I literally went in my binder. I have a binder of old programs, like any show I've ever seen. And one of them was the dance show from your freshman year, my sophomore year.
Yeah.
So I looked through it. I was like, which one was Carly in? And then the virtual show is still on your like dance team Facebook page.
Yeah.
So I was able to look at that. And I was like, okay, here we go. So, so good. I'm glad you enjoyed that. And I thought if I was going to play that game, it was going to have to relate to dance in some way. So I was glad I was able to find songs that had piano tracks too. Those are not me playing as much as I wish I had that talent. If you're curious of the full tracks, see the description below. I'm not stealing the audio, YouTube, if you're watching this. I'm afraid I'm gonna get like a strike, whatever it's called. So I do not own those videos, but I'm putting credit in the bio. So if you want to see those videos, you can. Okay. So thank you for playing that. I hope you had fun with that one.
Yeah, it brought back like a good like dance team memory of just like all the songs that like I danced in or like saw the performances of.
Mm-hmm. And now it's time for Once in a Lifetime. And Once in a Lifetime is not really a game. It's just an excuse for Carly to talk about an experience in her life that she would classify as once in a lifetime. And Carly, whenever you're ready, if you want to take it away and just describe a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah, I like try to like think of these in advance, so I'm not like on the spot like panicking, because I'm the type of person who like partially has to plan in advance. So I like thought of like a couple different things.
Thanks.
All right, so I'd say for the first one, it's related to when I was in high school. I was a part of a club in high school from my sophomore year to my senior year. It's called the American Field Service Club, but everyone called it AFS because it's easier and simpler to say. But basically, like what that club is all about, basically foreign exchange students from other countries who were like staying with like host families in like the Metro West area, because that's like the area in Massachusetts where I'm from. Basically, like we get to know like these international students like staying in the area. We host like a bunch of them for a weekend. It's like super duper fun. We do a bunch of fun activities, and like it's like each year that it happened, it was just so fun. I've met people from so many different countries. Like my sophomore year when I first did it, I never hosted anyone, but my good friends in high school hosted a couple people. I know there was one of my friends, Annie, hosted two people. One was from Italy and one was from Bolivia. They were both super duper sweet, super duper fun. And then my junior year, my friend Annie again hosted two other people. One was from Turkey, one was from Germany. And then my other friend Cookie, I think she hosted someone from, it was either Thailand or it was another country. I don't remember. It may have been like, I don't like Norway or something like that. If not that year, then like sophomore year. And then my senior year, I actually got to host someone because I was like begging my mom. I was like, I really want to host someone this year. This is like my last chance to do it. I really want to do it. And she like caved, and I was like, okay, it's only for a weekend. It wasn't like it was for like the whole like year or anything like that. So I hosted a girl from Switzerland named Enya. And it's funny because she was also gluten-free. So that was like an instant bonding moment. She's my fellow gluten-free gal, super duper sweet. She actually has a YouTube channel as well. She focuses on like food content. I know she recovered within the past couple of years, I believe, from an eating disorder. So like talking about like her journey with that as well. Her videos are so good. She's like so positive as well and like has great energy. So super duper sweet as well. But I'm kind of going into like the stuff that we did because like, of course, like in addition to like, of course, like talking, getting to know them, we did like so many fun activities with them. Like we took like day trips to Boston. We did like bowling trips. We did like brunches and things like that. And I guess like kind of around that time too, that was kind of like when my interest in like vlogging and like making videos started, because I think it was my junior year. Yeah, it was my junior year. I like made like a video montage. It was like one of my first ones ever. If you go back far enough on my Instagram, you may be able to find it if it's still up there. I'm pretty sure it is still up there. But it was just like a quick 1 minute montage of like a bunch of videos from our day in Boston and like from like bowling and everything. It was so much fun. Like I'd say like that was a huge part of my high school experience. Just like being a part of that club and getting to know like the fellow international students. They also came to our school for like one of the days of the week. It was during like our spirit week at school. So they came on like that Friday, and like the pep rally was that day. So like it was like always chaos but fun. And then the students always like got to introduce themselves, and then like all this other students would like go crazy and like cheer like for the international students. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's so cool. And are you still in touch with her by any chance or no?
Yeah, I am still in touch with her. I'm like in touch with some other people on Instagram as well. You know, like I actually talked to the boy from Germany that Annie hosted. like right before school started. And then I forgot to mention she hosted a boy from Belgium her senior year that I'm still in like contact with as well. The boy from Bolivia, like a bunch of them really. I like to see what they're up to on Instagram.
Yeah, that's so cool. You're international. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. Are you ever going to go out there and visit her or him?
I would absolutely love to. I've yet to go to Europe. I guess like Canada's been out of the country. I've been to Canada. I went to like the French part of Canada, so like it was different. But like my dreams like go to Europe also and like travel around Europe and like visit like the people that I've met because I feel like getting like that one-on-one experience with them in their countries would be like so cool. So,
yeah, and then they can cheer for you at their pep rallies.
Yes.
Very cool.
Exactly.
Awesome. And did you have another something prepared, or was that it?
Yeah, I had one more.
Yeah, go for it.
Actually, dance team related, I guess, because of course, dance team is of course a huge part of my college experience. Yep. As is probably for some other people as well, if anyone's watching this. So I guess like I kind of mentioned with my dance background already, grew up with like a very like educational based studio, like a lot of like technique and like that type of nitty gritty stuff. Never competed, things like that. I knew I wanted to continue dancing in college because I absolutely love dancing. Just like it was a good creative outlet, stress relief, everything along that type of line. I really enjoyed doing it a lot. So I knew going into college, I wanted to continue dancing. And it's funny because at my like orientation day, Maya, who you know, was actually my orientation leader. And I somehow brought up the fact that like I like am a dancer and I love dancing. And she was like, oh my gosh, I need to introduce you to my friend Haley, because Haley was also an orientation leader at the time. Like, we can get connected for FSU dance team and things like that. It was really funny. So that was like part of like dancing. That was like, like that's like a sign I gotta do it. And then like, of course, like I like arrived at FSU and everything. And then like the first practice started and like all those events, like the back to school stretch, fusion auditions and whatever. And I ended up meeting, to this day, a lot of my close friends are through dance teams, surprisingly. Because like what I do in my vlogs, this is a little off topic, I like to introduce people in case like, like who they want to like, who's this person or whatever, like give like a quick recap about them. And I feel like for most of the people I've mentioned, it's like, I met them through dance team. Like it's such a huge organization on campus, and I've gotten to know like so many people through it over these past 4 years. So that's like another huge thing. And while there's like a lot of like ups and downs, like I'm so grateful for like the connections that I've made with my fellow officers throughout each of the years I've been publicist. I've grown like so close to some of them. We've been through like so many like experiences, like ups and downs of it all. Like they're like memories to look back upon and just like remember and everything. So I feel like, and now that's like my last semester here is just like absolutely crazy that this is my final show. And I'm like so excited for like the final show. I can't wait to perform the dances. But at the same time, I'm really sad because like I don't want to leave dance team. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you found your like second home, basically. Like FSU obviously as a whole is your home, but like centering in on an organization that you just find the people that you love and that kind of share the same values as you. You obviously all love dance, but beyond that, you just get along because you're all the same type of person, like hardworking, and you want to put on a good show. And I don't know, I love watching the shows, and I've been able to help out in some ways, like as you know, like I did the lights part, so it wasn't like directly involved, but I was able to still see some of the behind the scenes of it and stuff, and like contribute as much as I can. And then watching just like pre-COVID, obviously, but the droves of people coming in to see the shows were always so exciting. Like family members, friends, peers, like everyone that full house almost. I feel like some nights, like it was just such a great community around the dance team. So that's fun hearing your perspective on it too. Yeah, I wanted to mention I've had Maya on the podcast. I've had Lucas Quintero on the podcast. Yeah,
I watched Lucas and Maya's.
Yep. And then even Emily LaHare I had on the podcast.
I did watch hers too. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, so I'm kind of like going across the board of like, obviously Maya wasn't dancing, but like that kind of thing. I want Haley to come on the podcast. I haven't asked her yet, but I think she would be good on this podcast too. So
yes, I would. Haley, if you're watching this, you should definitely come on the podcast. It's been so much fun.
Oh, Carly, thank you. That's so sweet.
Of course, Alex.
Thank you, Carly, for answering those questions. Like, I love to hear about, again, keeping an open-ended question of once in a lifetime, but seeing what you classify as once in a lifetime. So that's awesome that you've had those experiences, and I'm sure that it's not going to end here. You have so much to look forward to in like years to come. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
All right. The last game is a new one that I haven't played before. It's called You Laugh, You Lose. And the way it works is that we prepare jokes. I have 5 jokes. Carly has 5 jokes. We don't know what they are. And if you laugh, you lose a point. Or I don't know if I'll do points, but basically you're going to try to stay emotionless, not laughing. And I'm going to say not smiling either, because me,
That's going to be really hard for me. I can tell you that.
I was hoping so, because you are a smiley person. So we're going to see how it goes. I made my jokes as corny as possible because that's what I find funny, but I have no idea what your sense of humor is. We're going to find out. But yeah, I feel like I don't laugh a lot for some reason. I smile, but I don't laugh a lot, I've noticed. So I'm going to say if I smile, I lose, but that's whatever. You get the point. So do you have a preference? Do you want to say the first joke and then, or should I say the first joke to you?
I feel like, can I tell the first joke?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I feel like that will like help like relax like my face and my smiling, because I smile a lot and like I guess giggle a lot too. That wasn't the joke.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
All right. Anyways, okay. Let me make sure I have my jokes pulled up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. First joke.
Mm-hmm.
Why should you never trust stairs?
I don't know why.
Because they're always up to something.
I'm not smiling.
You're very
noting.
I know I'm gonna lose.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay. No, it is funny and it's corny, but I didn't laugh. Okay. Mm-hmm. I almost lost where I was. Okay. Why did the Scarecrow win an award?
Why?
Because he was outstanding in his field.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. Whoa, good job. Amazing.
Thank you.
Your turn.
All right. Next joke. Have you heard the rumor going around about butter?
I have not, no.
Never mind. I shouldn't spread it.
That almost, nope. Darn it. Like as soon as I start talking, it's funny again. Okay.
I know. As soon as I started talking to you, I was like, oh god, now the giggles are coming on.
That was good though. I like that one. Okay. What do you call a pig that does karate?
What?
A pork chop.
I get it.
Okay.
I like as soon as you said pork chop, I just like a picture of pork chop just like popped into my head.
Yeah. Nice.
Like, ooh,
okay.
I'm gonna have a pork chop right now. All right, my next joke. How does NASA organize a party?
I have no idea.
They plan it.
Okay. That's fine. It's good, but not laugh quickly. Okay.
Yeah. It's punny in a sense.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
It's so awkward. Like I don't want to laugh because it's not that funny, but it's just like I feel like I have to when I hear a joke. But anyway.
Oh, I know. Mm-hmm.
Why can't a nose be 12 inches long?
Why?
Because then it would be a foot.
That's actually pretty funny.
Got it. Yeah, I like that one.
All right. You know what they say about cliffhangers?
You're not going to tell me the rest of the joke, are you?
Dang it, you knew it. I was like so excited. I was going to go like...
But that would have killed me, yeah.
Didn't get you there.
I'm ahead of you got to be one step ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have 6 eyes, 2 mouths, and 3 ears. What am I?
Wait, can you repeat it one more time?
Yeah, of course. I have 6 eyes, 2 mouths, and 3 ears. What am I?
I have no idea.
I'm ugly. Isn't that awful? I read it. I was like,
I was thinking the answer was like Mississippi, because I know there's like an eye joke similar to that. I was like, but Mississippi doesn't have ears. That's really funny.
No, it's not a riddle. It's a joke.
Oh my god. That was a good one. I like that one. All right. I saved my favorite joke for last. This is something that like always like made me laugh growing up. I like think of this originally from like a comedy actor on a TV show, but let's hope you don't know it. There are 2 things you should know about diapers. Do you know what they are?
Oh, this sounds familiar, but no, I do not know.
Number 1 and number 2.
Yep, I've heard that one before. And I think if that's the first time I heard it, I would be laughing. But since I've heard it before, I'm ready. I'm good. Okay.
Yeah.
Good one. The last one I have is, why did the hipster fall through the ice?
Why?
Because he went skating before it was cool.
Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like the hipster vibe. I see that.
Right. That's amazing. Well, thank you for playing that game. It was a little weird, but it was fun.
Yeah, I like that game a lot. That was fun.
Yeah. And jokes are hard for me because I feel like I said, I don't laugh very often, especially if I'm just like on my computer scrolling through jokes. I'm not going to laugh out loud to myself, but
Yeah.
there were occasions when I did. So I was like, okay, definitely writing that down.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's wrap up. I wrap up the same way with my guests with a 3, 2, 1. And that just means I want them to explain 3 thankful thoughts, something that they're grateful for at this moment in time, 2 today takeaways, so what we did or just before today's podcast, kind of things that you reflect on. And then 1 ounce of optimism is your message to the viewers, whoever's watching, to stay optimistic and to look on the bright side. So whenever you're ready, Carly, take it away.
Okay. So to start off with 3 things that I'm thankful for.
Mm-hmm.
There's like so many things that I'm thankful for, but one thing that of course comes to mind is I'm thankful for you for inviting me to be on this podcast for sure. It's been so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a nice like break from like obviously this is like something that doesn't happen too often. So being able to come on here has been so much fun. I've enjoyed my time here.
Good.
So thank you for having me, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I would say something else that I'm thankful for, of course, I don't know if you'd count this as like separate or together, but like, of course, friends and family,
Mm-hmm.
they like shaped me into who I am. They're a huge part of my life. They've been with me through the good times, the bad times, through so much of my life. So them as well. And I feel like the third thing that I'm thankful for, I guess is like, this may sound weird in a sense, but like just like medicine in a sense, because like with like my Crohn's disease, like I previously talked about, I have to get like IVs once a month. And that's like allows me to like stay healthy and be as healthy as possible. Because without that, I'd probably be like hospitalized and like not be able to do much and like be really sick. So I would have to say like my third thing is like medicine, because it allows me to like be my best self every day, physically, mentally, and everything like that.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Carly. And then 2 today takeaways.
2 today takeaways. Oh goodness, let me think. I feel like one takeaway from today is just like I've been able to like reflect a lot today, like on my life, like in a sense of like dance team and like growing up and like things that I've been through. So that was like nice to look back upon, because I'm a huge person who loves to like reminisce and like look back to the good old days. That's actually another reason why I do my vlogs, to be able to like look back at them and like reminisce in a sense. So like being able to like look back through my life and see like how I've like grown and changed and like fun memories and everything, like that's like one takeaway for sure. Another takeaway from today, of course, like we like talked before and everything, like we've had like our small talks and everything, but like being on this podcast, like I've been able to like get to know you more and like engage with you more. So like that's been like so much fun as well. Just like seeing like more like a fun side of like both of us, of course, and just like being able to talk and everything. So that's like another thing that was like super fun, like that I've been able to take away from today, just like being able to like have this as a memory now and being able to look back at it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I totally agree with what you said about reminiscing. I love that. This podcast is a great version of that, where I started in 2020, near the end of 2020, and now it's 2022. So it's almost been 2 years of like,
oh, wow.
Like, I know, right? But I've taken breaks and stuff. It hasn't been every week for 2 years.
Yeah.
Like that would be insane. But it's been like, I remember filming with Lexi, like we mentioned earlier. That was my very first episode. I was in Hemingway Labs on a Saturday, and I was just like alone in the building. And it was November of 2020, so that was like the semester that barely anyone was on campus anyway. So thinking back to then, when I was like, oh, I'm so nervous about student teaching, which was my last semester of FSU. Like I don't know what's coming, and now that's been over a year away. So it's funny that my nerves back then are so long ago that's hard to think about. So I agree that reminiscing in this kind of virtual way is really fun. And like I journal too. I don't know if you like to journal, like writing in a book and like saying how you're feeling and stuff. But this is like, YouTube's a great way of having that, but virtual, and like being able to watch it again and stuff.
Yeah,
and share with anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, I like never like, of course I've had like journals and diaries throughout the years, but like I'm not a big fan of like writing. I'm like one who prefers to type because like my hand gets tired and everything.
Right.
But like what's great about like YouTube and like making videos, it's like a video diary. So that's like what's super fun about like making them. Like you take a lot of clips and then you can like edit them and like have it look what you want. So that's been like really nice with making YouTube videos for sure.
All right. Sorry I interrupted. Your ounce of optimism to leave the viewers with?
I would just have to say, despite like everything that people go through, like I know everyone has their good times and their like bad times. I know we've kind of talked about this already, but like my favorite word is like perseverance. So like please don't be afraid to like keep persevering and pushing through, even through like very difficult times. I know like over this past year, I've been through a lot of different things, as I'm sure everyone else has been. I know like a couple years back with the pandemic, like that was a huge like drawback, I'm sure, for a lot of people. But like through it all, like persevering, staying positive and happy, and just like trying to be your best self every day is just super duper important. So I'd probably have to say your ounce of optimism is just keep persevering. In the words of Dory, just keep swimming. Yeah.
I love that. Always tie it back to Pixar movies. That's my philosophy.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you, Carly. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this podcast for one, and actually like thoughtful answers too. You gave a lot of good answers today for the many questions I had, and I really appreciate you. Like you said, we got to connect a little bit more over the Zoom, so that was awesome too.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was so fun.
Yeah, of course. And again, viewers, if you're not subscribed to Carly's YouTube channel, go do that right now. She creates smaller form videos. So if you hate podcasts like this, that's like almost an hour long, you might not like my videos, but at least go see Carly's channel because she has a lot more fun, like stuff like that.
Thank you.
I've been trying to do vlogs. I did a couple last year. Like I went to Florida to visit my family and stuff. So I tried to do a vlog and stuff, and it's fun. I agree. It's like, I'm not used to carrying around a camera everywhere and like filming. It's just my phone as you do. But like actually filming things is not natural for me yet, but I'm hoping to get there.
Yeah, I like still like struggle a bit sometimes. Like I use my iPhone for everything.
Yeah, same.
But like at times, like when you're in public and like filming, it's just like, but like sometimes I'm like, I don't care. It's whatever.
Yeah, fair. So thank you, viewers, again for watching. If you made it this far, you are a true fan. So thank you, whoever you are. Hi, Carly's mom, if you're watching. But anyone else, thank you for watching. I appreciate that. If you liked today's video, please give it a like, subscribe to see more videos. I try to do every other Sunday. That's my schedule usually. And follow the Instagram, the Validating Channel on Instagram. Again, I try to post, but I always kind of, if I don't want to, I don't. That's my philosophy. If I want to post, I will, but I don't want it to be a stressful thing. So I just post whenever I feel like it. If something's causing me happiness, I'll post about that. And also, I always ask a question of the day to my audience to see if they want to engage in the conversation, they can. So today's question is, what is a joke that always makes you laugh? So we can try to be funny in the comments and see who's the funniest and stuff like that. So you can comment that right on this video. Like I said, like it if you liked it. And comment anything that you want me to do better in the future. I don't care. I also have a Gmail account that you can message me at thevalidatingpodcast@gmail.com if you want to do something individually. If you want to be on this podcast, let me know. All that kind of stuff. You can email me or comment down below. I read those comments. So let me know. Thank you for watching once again. Carly, last words for us?
Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the podcast for today, and subscribe to Alex's channel.
Thank you, Carly. So yes, I will see you in 2 weeks. Stay validating, whatever that means to you, and keep your head up high and just keep swimming. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone.